In the stream, you are going to get some urgent altcoin setups that you might be able to take during the course of the day. I've got shorts for you and I've got longs. We also might be longing the top of a couple of tokens. There's a lot going on here. Let's go. Guys, and remember, as always, hit that like, hit the bell, and hit the subscribe. Now, we've had a pretty slow, choppy day, and until now, we might be getting some action. So fortunately, it is Thursday, so we brought in the break shake, and he's telling me he wants to long the top of Fartcoin, WIF, and things like that. So Panda, keep us posted. Tell us when we're going to push buttons. I accidentally tripped and longed Fartcoin already. Underwater, going to get liquidated. Let's see how that goes. We got Mr. 𝗲𝗲𝗟𝗏 in the house, obviously, bringing us some action today. And good morning, 𝗘𝗵𝗏𝗏. Hello, sir. Okay, so James is bringing us some unemployment news. We're going to see how 𝗲𝗟𝗏𝗏 she is on that in a couple of minutes. Let's go and talk banter bubbles. Aero outperformer, and I'm not in it, so I'm a little bit sad at the moment. That is obviously a lot of pain. 𝗘𝗃𝗲𝗏, I missed that long the other day after giving it to you guys, so I'm feeling very special at the moment. And AVAX, we're sitting in a short, funnily enough, one of the best performers at the moment, holding up a big level even though it's so bearish. So we're going to be talking about that now. And yes, exactly, AJ is saying AVAX moving like an ECG reading. It looks terrible at the moment at that resistance. So we are going to deal with all of this, guys. Let's jump into BTC and then let's just try and figure out what is going on. So my current view at the moment, obviously, guys, we can naturally look at things on various time frames, and if you are trading degen levels, 15-minute and some like that, some things like that, you might get bounces, reactions on certain zones. I'm focusing today on the 2-hour on BTC, and I want you guys just to see a couple of things that I am looking at. So number one, we've got a reversal here and bearish divergence in play on the oscillator, and you can see it's now accelerating to the downside pretty quickly, but it is nice that BTC is holding up so well. In the past, we have seen situations where this thing accelerates down on the 2-hour and BTC gets absolutely wrecked. So far, so good in terms of the bulls. We are holding a couple of levels. Now, I was saying in the Chart Hackers Discord earlier today, I gave them this chart and these levels and things like that, and we can see already that the degens are longing this 236 fib 91,700. I mean, you guys are such animals that BTC drops into the 236 and all the degens start going big long there on those guys. So my overall view is this 2-hour needs to reset for a sustained move. But in terms of a reaction, 91.7, this is your first line of support. Now, if we do get a drop lower down, you're going to be looking at 90,200 into 89K. That makes a lot of sense for me in terms of a bull zone for BTC and keeping the hopes and dreams alive of a pump into FOMC coming up next week. I think it was Wednesday that we are looking at. Now, a couple of things to watch higher up. If we do get a second push today, you just want to watch out at your resistance zone. So right now, you can see clear as day, 94K. If you are longing BTC roundabout here, you are potentially longing the top of a move, and it can obviously drop to the downside. Naturally, you can trade a breakout. If you get the breakout move on BTC, your next move is going to be 97K. Somewhere in that region is going to be a nice TP zone and a potential rejection area. Now, how you manage those rejection zones, obviously up to you, but that could be a beautiful short zone as well if you are looking at some downside action there on BTC. Okay, so there's our ping pong zones. That is kind of what I'm seeing at the moment. And we have seen some of these altcoins responding a little bit. Now, let's jump into some of the news. I don't have tons of news for you guys today, but we're talking about the job situation. Right now, 250 million seems to be the norm on Lickies. Look at this, $250 million liquidated so far today. And it seems like a regular day. Now, we have spoken about this before, but, you know, like a couple of months ago, a boring day was about 70 million. And today's been pretty boring, and we've done 250 million. So James doesn't even get excited anymore at 200 million. He's like just shaking his head. And what actually happened now in the last couple of days? Well, BTC hits 93, and all of a sudden we just got to chill. Okay, and that is what's happened now over the last few days, while everyone now decides what the next move is going to be. Remember, people have PTSD. They are so traumatized that Bitcoin rejects every single time, that there's a big fight between bulls and bears every time we get to these resistance zones. Now, scientists have made a bracelet that converts stress into electricity. This is kind of me. I mean, definitely it's me. I know it's James as well, definitely. And I mean, James is stressed now on the back end of the show because he made profit on an aero trade, and now he's considering longing the top of Fartcoin. And I actually said, don't do it. are you doing it?
I didn't hear that part. I missed the don't do it.
He's gonna give away his profits. Panda, do you have a glow in the dark situation as well?
Yeah, but I still slip and long things accidentally.
Oh, okay, fine. Okay, so you also
glow in the dark.
You also have that problem. It's nice. Okay, so Hard One says my PTSD has PTSD from ignoring it. Exactly, guys. I mean, when we get to resistance, I start getting a little bit edgy. I'm not gonna lie. I feel a little bit stressed in those moments. Now, there is something cool that I'm going to bring for you guys. We're going to have a ton of fun. I have launched it already in the Chart Hackers Discord, but we're going to play some prediction markets and things like that over the coming months. And if we have a lot of fun, I have promised the Chart Hackers Discord that we'll open a separate channel and we'll get someone in who can consider themselves an expert in prediction markets. Now, you can have a ton of fun with this. This is 𝗘𝗃 that we are talking about, and you can look for predictions and take positions on anything from politics. You can look at things like who will be elected the president of Honduras, who will leave their role in the Trump administration. You can take positions on all of these things. We've got sports. We've obviously got crypto as well that we can look at here. We've got things like economics. We can talk about, we talk a lot of shit about Joe Powell and things like that. We can bet on the rate cuts. We can do all of these types of things along the way. So I'm looking forward to going on this journey with you guys with 𝗘𝗃 Markets. So there is a link in the show description if you guys want to get cracking here and sign up. Remember, it's for American citizens at the moment only. So we're working on another way for you other guys as well. But for the Americans, guys, jump in here and let's get stuck into this. Okay, I see 𝗘𝗵𝗵𝗏 likes that. Now let's talk about the unemployment claims. James, you had an interesting comment in our WhatsApp group earlier. What are we doing? Is this unbullish? What are we looking at here?
Yeah, it's unbullish for rate cuts because that shows that the unemployment is slowing down, right? And that's what it's really bad for people, of course, and right before Christmas, crappy timing. But we needed more unemployment in order to get Powell super dovish. But we just had yesterday, the ADP numbers were horrific. So this, take some, give some. It's still pretty bad.
Bearish. Okay. And interesting, Luke's comment here, he says, yet Black Friday spending was at an all-time high. That is interesting.
And see, that's what I was just going to say. We've got holiday jobs here, so there'll be less unemployment because there's more employment opportunities at this moment because of the holidays. So that will affect this as well.
Okay, well, there you go, Mr. 𝗘𝗏𝗟 locked in. Now let's talk gold, silver, and then you guys are going to get some stocks out of me. We're talking about that. Then we're going into a couple of markers here for the altcoins, and then I'm covering ETH, SOL, 𝗬𝗰. I've got Pump. I think I've got Hype for you guys. Panda's got tons here. We might literally be long in the top. I'm waiting for him to jump in, even though I'm probably getting rinsed already. I think I pushed too early there. We're gonna have to see now. So we got a lot coming for you guys. Just silver update on my current silver position. I think I'm going to play the long game here. I am looking for some kind of dip for silver and an add-on zone here. If we can try and get some decent size, we should get a bounce on silver. So 54.9 into 53.7 is looking like my add-on zone here for silver. And if we lose that type of area, then, we're going to have to reassess how we are going. But I simply want to just see this horizontal hole tied in with some fibs, tied in with the local VWAP, and hopefully we get a nice move. So no changes there in terms of silver. And in terms of my gold short, well, I got a feeling gold's going to get a bit aggressive here. And we can see the oscillator is starting to turn up a little bit now on the 4 hours. So I don't have a reason yet to close this gold short. It hasn't printed enough profits to the downside yet. So I'm kind of just being a little bit patient. I wanted to see it, a little bit lower down here. So I'm just going to let this one play out for now. And we're going to see how these things go. But overall, things are okay. Okay, silver's dropping a bit here on BTCC. MicroStrategy is really starting to look good now. Are we going to get that 20-30% move to the upside? And then Circle has made a miraculous recovery. Okay, so Circle's going nicely here. Nice crypto stock play as an option. Now, in terms of the S&P, they don't seem to mind the current jobs numbers at the moment. A little bit red today, but now they are bouncing again. So 6,800 is your current S&P support. Not a very exciting trade unless you're trading massive size on big leverage. So I'm kind of just staying away of the S&P right now. I think there are much better options. And Abe says, are we shorting Aero? Possibly. There was a little bit of news on Aero. I think that's why it pumped. I think there was a listing or something like that. James probably knows a little bit more. And we'll talk about that in a minute. Now, Netflix has closed below the 200-day MA for 10 consecutive trading days, the longest stretch of time in more than 3 years. All I read is possible bounce. Okay, that's all that says to me. And it was nice to see this one. So I pulled this out to have a look. And I've got 2 bounce zones of interest for you guys. Now, you can trade these on BTCC with me, and you can also trade some of these on BitGet. BitGet have launched stocks as well for you guys. So there is a link in the show description there for these. Now, 101 down to 99. This is a bit of a degen bounce. Okay, so basically, we're looking for a little reaction on this pivot and around about that 618. So if you want to have a crack, there's a possible reversal coming. Look at our oscillator here, also dropping into the lows. It's going to print bullish divergence. So there's a degen option for you guys here. Low risk play on Netflix and a possible bounce. Let's say 109, even a bounce into the 200-day MA at a 112 could be a mini banger here for us. And current risk is about 2.7%. So if that makes you excited, well, there we go. There's a little bouncer potentially on Netflix. And then if that zone fails, what's going to happen is we're going to cut this position over here when we lose that 99, and then we can look at 93.2 for the next possible bounce zone. But I'd say risk reward on shorting Netflix now is not in your favor. I think we need to start looking for bounces here. We need to start looking for longs. It's a record below the 200-day MA. At some point, even if they bearish on this thing, at some point you're going to get that DCB, and then you're going to get that drop to the downside. Do you like what my new word I invented, a DCB? You like it?
DCB? Yeah, I
yeah.
like
Do
that.
you like it, Panda? Do you like a DCB? Do you know what it is?
Remind me, I'm looking at breakouts.
It's a dead cat bounce. Come on.
It's a dead kitty. Okay.
We just invented it. Okay. So there's a DCB coming on Netflix. I don't think we need to be bullish on it. You can see this thing can just drop. But if you're looking for a little scalp here, stock play, that could be a play for you guys. Then MicroStrategy. I'm just going to give myself a round of applause because I had conviction to hold this thing and basically go to zero. I felt like an absolute loser. And I couldn't imagine how 𝗂𝗍𝗟 was feeling at those types of levels if I felt like this with my small position. And nice to see MicroStrategy is bouncing. It is giving us something. So it was zone number 2, 152 that gave us the bounce, and 200 to 220 would be a dream target. Okay, so now you guys need to decide how you want to play this. You can put your stops at entry. You can manage this accordingly along the way. I'm going to give you entries all day long. When you close your trades, that's always going to be up to you guys. Okay, so looking for a little bit more. I don't know. Am I being greedy? Let's see. If the crypto market rolls over, MicroStrategy might dump to the downside, and I'll have my tail between my legs. So let's wait and see how this plays out. Right now, for me, I'd like to dream that Bitcoin is going to go higher. So despite the recent market rebound, this is not good. Capital inflows have fallen by more than 50% in the past week, from 15 billion to 6.8 billion, according to Ali charts. I don't know if I like that news after I just told you I'm trying to hold MicroStrategy. So let's see how that is going to play out for us. And in terms of Bitcoin on the 3-day chart, you can see these are our major rejection zones. So we are still in zone number 1. And after all the pumpage over the last couple of days and that feeling of euphoria, imagine how we're going to feel if BTC actually makes it up to these higher zones. Imagine that feeling. We're going to be all warm and fuzzy. We might even hit the bullhorn. There it is. I mean, right now we can't. I mean, we need that. We need that second pop. So that was just a fake out there on the bullhorn. But these are the big levels, guys. So 90, where we are right now. Okay, major rejection zone. Then we've got the next one for me. And remember, this is quite a broad zone. And the reason it's quite a broad zone is it's higher time frame. And I'm looking at macro fibs. Now, the top fib is 103,600. It also ties in with Happiness's 50-week moving average. So that is a big rejection zone. The 50-week moving average has been support for about 18 or 20 months. So if we push back, we should see that as resistance, and that could be a big downside move. If for some reason it miraculously blows through, guys, reminder, 109, 110, that is going to be the right shoulder of an ugly head and shoulders. Let's see what happens when we get there. By the time we get there, the whole of Twitter is going to be screaming head and shoulders, and we probably squeeze to 140. So let's see. We play it step by step. Now, USDT dominance, this tells us the whole story of the market, and you can see we are still bearish at the moment, dropping down, which is actually good for us and our alts and Bitcoin. Obviously, you can see our oscillator here on the weekly has also flipped a little bit bearish. Now, just a little bit of a warning, a weekly oscillator, literally a move like this, for example, that tiny little dip there is about 2 weeks worth. Okay, so if we want this weekly oscillator to play out, it could take absolute months to get to the downside. So there is guidance here for us saying that there could be a bullish move in the market, but we need to understand a tiny little blip for 1 week like that on the weekly can send USDT dominance to absolute astronomical levels here and still flush the market out and kill everyone. Okay, so just remember that, spot traders, you're good. Okay, high leverage degen traders, watch this chart. It could be a bit of a problem. Now, BTC dominance as well. This is a good sign for our altcoins. XRP is still going to 10. Yeah, I believe so. We've got, what, till the end of the year. So we got about 25 days, XRP to $10, guys. Alt danger zone. Here we are. We bounced on this earlier today on our BTC dominance chart. And if we start losing this level, it's going to tell us that there's a high probability that alts are going to start outperforming BTC. And that can give us a nice pop. I'm talking ETH breaking some big levels here. We might have to go even bigger size now on ETH and start ramping it up. If we get that move, we're going to see these alts possibly outperforming. So this is obviously a good time. Panda's waving at me frantically. What am I doing? What am I
Speaking of danger zones, we might be ready on WIF if you want to take a bit of a bet.
Okay.
Yes.
Get your chart out. Let's go. Let's see. Hey guys, emergency. We might be longing the top of WIF. Get ready to get rinsed or to get pumped. Okay, let's see what Panda has for us here.
Fart moved and Brett also moved, and they're all pushing into and holding above the previous week high. If we start pushing this candle right here, right now on the 15-minute, is going to tell us a lot. I'm just waiting on a close, but I already entered WIF. And long story short, I have a stop loss at 0.40 flat. That is the best I can do in terms of a very, very, very dangerous, stupid long in the top. My only bet is we're closing above previous week high on the 10-minute and the 15. Was a lot of resistance, and now we're kind of claiming it, and looks like it's about to pop. Popcat, Fart, Brett did basically the same move, and now we're waiting on this. Who's selling? Who's market selling WIF right now? Stop doing that.
You're gonna get ruined. Okay, wait, let me see. I want to see if I can long this. I want to see if I can long this WIF here. Okay, let's go. Let me just get it going here. Let me just find the token.
0.40.
Okay, 0.4 is the stop loss. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's if you want to keep it super tight. Yeah, 0.40.
Okay, hold on. Let me just try and get my stuff going here. It's lagging very hard here at the moment. Okay. Come on. Let's go. Okay, 0.4 is going to be my stop loss, and you want me to market by this thing now? How much? $100,000? How much do you want me to go long?
Take a couple of zeros out. Once we break the trend on Popcat and WIF, we'll add those zeros. But for now, look at this, man. We need to look at your Bitcoin chart, boss. You need to tell me it's breaking. You need to tell me.
No, we're gonna get rinsed, bro. I just bought the top. Okay, so zero. What's my stop? 0.40.
0.40. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to make it below that. Okay, so they can come and grab your stop and they won't hit mine. I'm making my stop at 0.2996. Okay, so
to the chat. Sorry, if you usually trade $10,000 positions, open like a 1,500. This is beyond dangerous.
Okay, well, now, I mean, I just opened 100,000. I'm joking. Okay, no, it wasn't so bad. Okay, so there we go. Along the top now. I literally, look at that projection along the top of WIF. Okay, so here's my mixed bag at the moment, guys. We're going to go through all of this at the moment. I'm obviously running my hedging strategy, but you can see doing nicely on Sol. Link, I'm still waiting in that from yesterday. Doing quite nicely on ETH now. It's about 9,400 up. That's looking good. AVAX short from when entry yesterday. XPL from DJ Dave. I took his long that he gave us. Brett sitting in the short. 𝗘𝗃𝗃 short. This could blow up with ETH, guys. That could be a long coming up. We could squeeze to the next zone. BTC, I've got the longs nice. It's 11K up. I've banked 7 so far. HBAR gave that long on X, and I gave it in the Chart Hackers Discord today. 𝗬𝗰, we got a bit of news on this thing. XRP, James, you're going to be so happy. I longed XRP to $10. Let's see if it's going to go. And that was in the Chart Hackers Discord as well earlier today. So I did drop that in my updates. And let's get into these alts, guys. Let's see what the play is. Now, in terms of what we want to watch here, I just thought I haven't done a shitcoin casino in a while for you guys. And oh my God, we need to get Jeff back. I haven't spoken to him. I need him bad. Okay, so for our RSI heat map, the first thing I could pick up was Sky AI that is blowing up here. So here's a possible shortcoming for you guys. Remember the rules before you push any buttons, okay? The rules are, if you're going to play the shitcoin casino on the 4-hour heat map, these things pump. You try and locate yourself a macro big rejection zone. I'm going to show you a 200-day MA with a macro 3A2 combination. This is a zone that could give you a rejection. But remember, when these things get momentum, they can sometimes pop another 10-15% through the area and absolutely decimate you. So the rules are small position, very wide stop, very low leverage, isolated position if you want to try these things. Okay, you can literally get absolutely rinsed. Now, there is a possible short brewing on 𝗘𝗃𝗄𝗏. This is the zone here for me, and it is 0.39 into 0.42. So 0.39 into 0.42. You are going to be looking at possible wicks like this, okay? These might come into play. So you can see whenever this thing pumps, there's big selling. Be careful. You don't want them to come and do this to you. All right. So make sure you are playing with a small amount of capital if you want to give this one a go. Okay. So 39 into 42, you could get a short here, and it's going to look something like this. And guys, don't get married to it. If you start pumping through that 200-day MA, it could get a little bit ugly. Okay, so just be safe in the way you manage this thing. Okay, let's talk about altcoins. Panda, we're gonna get you back now. Why are you hiding again? He's run away. Are we up, bro? Are we up?
Just don't look at it. Just let it be. Just let
Okay,
it
okay.
be.
We'll just let it be. We'll just let it be. Okay, yeah, like he's feeling bad. Look. Okay, let's talk altcoins now. BTC's been lovely, okay, but the altcoin's feeling a bit rough. Have you guys seen that movie when he gets attacked by the bear? That's a dark movie. But fortunately, Tom Lee has been holding ETH up very nicely for us over the last couple of days. And 𝗃𝗃𝗏𝗏 is tracking the 50-week EMA on ETH versus BTC. Now, yesterday you saw me talking about the 50-week MA on ETH versus USD. Now, this is interesting. It's looking to break through the BTC pair now on the exponential moving average. So that is adding a little bit more bull source to the possibility of an ETH pop. Who's long the top here? Jack, come on, bro. What's going on here? Oh no, bro. Are we getting rinsed? Panda, am I getting rinsed, bro? Okay, so guys, in terms of ETH, I don't have like fresh longs for you guys unless it's like a degen breakout play. So I just want to give you, my impression of what I'm seeing here. This is ETH on the 4-hour. We understand their strength. So here is that 50-week MA that I told you about. This is a massive level for us on ETH at the moment, and it's a very big zone that we can use as bull support later on. So if we do get a dip in the market, fortunately now we have this as our bull support guide, and we can take advantage of this here when we drop into that zone, and we can get a nice long round about that 3K region if things go nice and weak. Now, in terms of ETH popping a little bit higher over the next couple of hours, you can see there's a possible short here at a fake out into 3,260. So if you get a quick wick through on ETH and a hard rejection, that could be a really nice short opportunity for you guys that brings it down into that 3,000 region that I've just spoken about. And then a little bit higher up, guys, this is a high conviction danger zone. Look what we've got here, just in terms of big things. We've got the 50-day MA, we've got a 786, we've got an undercarriage, and we've got the 200-day MA. That's an absolute war zone there for ETH. It will be an it will be an amazing day when we blow through that. But all I can say is there's a high probability of a rejection between 3.4 and 3.5 for ETH. So just exercise caution if you push up into that type of zone. It's obviously going to be a very big danger zone. Now, with literally long the top, okay, it's not so bad yet, okay? Let's see how that goes. Fartcoin, my top long, a little bit red here at the moment, and we're going to be patient. And she says, can I join the Discord on the Black Friday sale price? What I've done here for December, guys, is we know that the 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏's Discord price is going up, but I've said to the guys, lock it in for December, for Christmas. If you join 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏's now, you're going to pay $99 a month till the end of time. As long as you stay in there, you are fine. Then come January, after Christmas, we'll raise those prices. Okay, so if you go sign in there, you should see a promo code that you're going to use, and it's going to lock you in at 99. Okay, so you'll be fine for at least December, and then we'll deal with that. We'll deal with that in January. Okay, let's go. Let's get into these alts now. Obviously, there's big news on Sol. Panda, hang with me, bro. There's big news on Sol. We've got Breakpoint coming, which is the annual Solana event. There's normally some price action on Sol that we can deal with. There's normally a lot of announcements, a lot of cool projects, and you might find Sol ecosystem things start waking up a little bit around about Breakpoint. Now, I remember my favorite Breakpoint was the one in Portugal. I think it was 2022. Everything was cooking. Everything was so nice. And then FTX went and ruined the party for everybody. Very memorable occasion for me. The food started tasting very salty. You know those pastei things? Those custard things you get in Portugal? it was like they were sprinkling salt on it. Like every time I ate it, it was just getting filthier and filthier along the way. But anyway, okay, be that as it may, there's possible price action coming for Breakpoint. Okay, so now in terms of SOL, and will Breakpoint be sold and used again? Well, I don't know. Maybe that's when MicroStrategy or 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗲 capitulates. Who knows? Who knows what they're going to give us this time? So in terms of SOL, guys, local rejection zone, they did put you under pressure there. Okay, that 144, 145, we did get the rejection. Now, obviously, we've got a couple of options on SOL. I'm tracking this on the 2 hour. Now, if you had to ask me, where's my preferred long zone for SOL? It's 137 into 167. This region over here, it's my local bull zone. I've got VWAP cover. I've got horizontal cover. There'll be order blocks here. There'll be a lot going on. So 137 into 134, 135, that looks the best for me in terms of a 2 hour possible reversal on SOL. So in terms of a DGen level, well, DGens, if you are trying to be long, 141 is what you can use. This is your DGen 236 fib. Again, we're not sure how far a 236 can get you. Some days you're going to long that thing and look like an absolute god, and some days you're going to long that thing and look like an absolute loser. So you know what, just balance the probabilities, manage your risk, and if you get momentum on these things, then obviously you can add it. Now, there is another way you could do it, and one of the things you can do is trade these things on a much lower time frame. And what I want you guys to do now is join a workshop that I'm doing with DGen Dave, who's won 4 out of 5 Banter Royale scalping competitions in 60 minutes. Now, this guy's made $200 to $400 on his account in a space of 60 minutes, and I want you guys to be able to experience that and come to our workshop. So what we've done is we've prepped a Zoom workshop that is available to everybody that is watching the show, and obviously the Chart Hackers members as well. This workshop is happening in 5 days and 1 hour and 23 minutes. Somebody better put this in my calendar or I'm going to forget. But we're going to be there, me and DGen Dave, and we're going to teach you how to do this. Now, all you need to do is be on a Crypto Banter 2-bit trading link. So you can get a link in the show description there and you can sign up. And I've already signed up. I've got my $100 in my account. I'm ready to go. I've signed up with 2-bit. There's no KYC. You just hit them with an email address and then you are cracking. You just load up your USDT and then you can get moving. And then we're going to teach you a couple of DGen things. For example, here, SOL on the 30 minutes, getting a bounce on a VWAP and a 618. And we're going to teach you a couple of scalping techniques. And obviously, Day is going to give you some of his secrets as to how he has won that Banter Royale 80% of the time, because he wins it 80% of the time every time. Okay, so nice solid hit rate there for Dave. So come and join our workshop. Then in terms of 𝗬𝗏𝗏, this has been interesting, very disappointing. And I want James here as well. Why is 𝗬𝗏𝗏 not going to the moon if we've got an ETF? What's going on?
I mean, it was going to hell. Now it's holding at least, right? It maybe just stopped the decline.
Okay, well, that's not helpful. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at 𝗬𝗏𝗏. So, yeah, I mean, it kind of front ran our bull zone here. I dropped the bull zone in the Chart Hackers Discord, 1.6 to 1.54. I think this news obviously has helped it a little bit in terms of, you know, getting some buyers at the moment. But the 2 hour, not looking incredible, but we can solve that problem relatively quickly if we get a hard reversal now on this 2 hour. And what we're going to probably see then is a beautiful bearish divergence print if 𝗬𝗏𝗏 does get a little bit of energy. So anybody long 𝗬𝗏𝗏 or anybody wants to play 𝗬𝗏𝗏 here, if you're trying to chase momentum, you got to look out. If we print a new high, 1.78, 1.77, that's a possible bearish divergence rejection on the 2 hour. And then you've got 1.87, which is another major rejection zone here for you guys on 𝗬𝗏𝗏. Okay, so right now you can see in terms of fresh longs, safe fresh longs, I want to see the bull zone hold. That is 1.6 into 1.54. If you're chasing momentum, guys, you know the upside zones that we are going to be watching. Now, remember, these charts go into the Chart Hackers Discord directly after the show for you guys. You can have access to all of them, including Panda's situations of longing some tops there and things like that. Okay, now guys, we got Panda. I'm going to bring him up again, and then we're going to talk our AVAX when entry. I'm going to tell you what else we got cooking here. I've got pump coming for you. I've got 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. I've got an update on 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, that was an absolute banger yesterday, and we're going to talk about Brett and XRP as well for you guys. So let's get Panda in here, and let's see what he's got in his kitchen at the moment.
All right. Actually looking on the...
And I'm more excited than you to have you here. I mean, I'm feeling...
I'm eyeing like two charts right now. I'm here. Okay,
there we go.
I'm actually looking at something much less degenerate.
Probius just said we must short gold. Okay, sorry, carry on.
I'm Panda, not Jay. I got ICP. That's a little bit laggy, but looking good on the daily. Not looking good as in terms of chart, but we dropped this on the daily candle. Somewhat of a slow cooker. It's still, I'm in this, but I was waiting with the push that we're getting today. I'm just waiting to claim this red line right here. This would be this should set the ball in motion. But as of now, entry, any pullbacks to 3.6, 3.65 is an entry for me. I'm
zoom
going
in a lot more. I need to like see those numbers there. Yeah, we got to see.
How about that?
Okay, there we go.
Let's do this. How about this? Yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay, so guys, there you go. Here's your numbers. Okay.
All right, very slow cooker. This is clearly a trap candle. A lot of shorts and longs are being trapped. The stocks are looking very healthy on the, or not healthy, ready to go on the daily. Entry 3.6 down to 3.5. That's about a 6% stop loss. I'm on 5x, and only one of my orders got hit. So 3.6-ish is entry. I'm putting in 20% of my margin. Down to 3.59. I'm adding a little bit more margin, and then my biggest position is going to be at 3.52. With the 4 hour candle close below that would be my invalidation. So again, this is a slow cooker. If the market starts to move, this should move.
I mean, Adil said put the clock on him, and once I did, I only got 9 seconds there. Okay, so guys, there you go. I mean, you got along the top from Panda. Obviously, it's going to be risky, guys, but this guy's a bit of a genius when it comes to playing these breakouts. I mean, some of the stuff's absolute filth that he sends to Mars. I don't even know where he finds the stuff, but anyway, he finds it. Okay, you can find him in the chart hackers. And ICP, that could be a slow cooker, something to watch, guys. Remember, a little bit of something for everybody here. And obviously, my preferred stuff is reversals. I like to do that, so that ICP makes a lot more sense to me. It keeps me a lot calmer. Okay, we're going to get Panda in for one more as well. So shall we short the top of pocket?
Bitcoin is rejecting hard.
We're going to get him in. We're going to get him in for one more. Let's talk about a couple of things. So here's a when entry, guys. Now, obviously, you can buy the boxes as well, but we've got a channel in the Discord called When Entry, and every day after a show, I give a high conviction setup that I feel could play out for us. So right now, this one is still AVAX from yesterday, and Panda sniffs them out. What, the when entry boxes or the setups? I mean, I don't know what he's talking about.
Both.
Do I need to know? Do I need to know?
Nah, keep it in the chat.
Okay, so guys, like, there's something wrong with AVAX. You can see when we started the stream, who said that comment about AVAX looks like one of those ECG machines at the moment. If you zoom into AVAX, you can see this thing is in the tightest range, and the longer it stays here, the more like the bulls and the bears start piling in, and the more indecision there is. I can't tell you what's going to happen next, other than I've got loads of 2-hour bearish divergence on this thing, and if it goes down, well, we're going to have great resistance later on for any pumps back. So if it does eventually start dropping for us, you're going to have a beautiful situation where you can actually add to this thing. Obviously, the problem is if it explodes to the upside, we don't know what's going to happen next. So in terms of when entry, this is still valid, obviously, for me. And I'm sitting in this AVAX short and looking for obviously lower. Now, that would mean the market starts falling over. And obviously, unfortunately, that means Bitcoin and a lot of other things are going to start dropping. But for me, this looks like a decent setup still, and I'm holding this short position. Now, the close is above 14.927 or 14.93. If you close above that zone, that is a reasonable exit plan. You can see what they did yesterday. They pumped through there, put everyone under pressure, and then they wicked it back down. Okay, that's a typical market maker game over there, and you can see today we've been static in that area. So I'm holding that for now. I don't have a reason to close it yet. It's a lottery at the moment which way this thing is going to go. What I'm using is the bearish divergence I can see here, and I'm waiting for this thing to fall over. Yes, AVAX does look tricky at the moment. Okay, so there's your when entry on AVAX from yesterday. It's still valid today, and we'll try and dig up another one for you guys. Okay, now let's talk hype. This is an interesting one for me, and always a bullish play. I know I track this a lot, guys, but it's a really fun one to trade. And if you're not trading it, I highly recommend you give this one a try at some point. Now, hype is obviously always, it's making money. The guys are trading on it. It's a legitimate project. And in terms of a nice bullish zone for me, 33.46 into 32.6 is still my preferred entry zone. Okay, so if we get like a drop like that on hype, you might find AVAX does in fact roll over there for you guys. So there's the long setup here for hype, waiting for a little bit lower. And then in terms of a short option, guys, 36.88 and 38.9 looking like decent short zones there for us. Okay, and is stock dead? I haven't looked at that since I did a 10% round trip on that thing. So yeah, maybe Panda, can you take a look? Is that thing dead? Can you find us an entry? I think it's a MicroStrategy linked situation, so I would assume that thing needs to wake up. Okay, and JR read the white paper, so he's happy. Okay, so guys, there we go. So pump from yesterday, got the entry, got a little bounce. I'm still sitting in this one on 𝗶𝗶𝗏. And yeah, nothing to do at the moment. You can see there's hardly any action here on pump. So I'm just waiting for a little bit more action here out of 𝗶𝗏𝗏 here on this pump. And then I've got 𝗏 for you. I dropped this in on X, and I also dropped this in the Chart Hackers Discord earlier today. We look for a simple bounce on the bull zone. Okay, so we're not reinventing the wheel here. Just looking for our oscillator reversal. There it is. And we're looking for our VWAP and bull zone to come into play. And basically what you want to do there, when you see the oscillator dropping, printing a divergence or printing a reversal, and you're dropping into a reasonable hot zone, okay, then you look for the bounce, or you look for the rejection. Now, guys, obviously, the oscillator is an important part of my trading strategy. If you guys see it on the screen all the time, don't forget you can actually get that oscillator, and we have made it simpler now. We've created a Chart Hackers Essential package, so it's got a couple of the basics there for you guys in the oscillator, and you can see what you get at 69. It's 69 a month if you guys want to grab those oscillators and those trading tools. Okay, so that is there for you guys. And let's go virtual. This is a possible long here. I have added to my virtual long that I'm sitting in, and I'm just looking to nibble away here. So for me, my strategy on virtual is a close below 0.9 is going to be my exit plan. So you can see I've got a rising trend here at the moment on virtual. There it is. And if we start closing below 0.906, and that means for me that we are possibly turning a little bit more bearish. So if we do drop down, I do want to see this bounce over here. That would make the most sense to me. If we close below, we're probably in some kind of downtrend and getting liquidated. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm looking at for virtual. Obviously hoping for bigger things here, and target is 1.06. for me would make sense. Okay, now I'm tracking this on the 1 hour time frame, and remember, just a little tip for you guys, you can see we've got our first reversal on the 1 hour, and there's always two options. There's the easy trade where the 1 hour reverses and you go long and you just enjoy the ride, okay? And then you get the slightly more difficult trade where the market makers do this and they give you a higher low on the oscillator, but they drop the price to a lower low on the price, and that gives you your bullish divergence print, and that is where you get that. So just bear in mind when you are playing these games, what works for me is either my hedging strategy that I teach on the show sometimes and in Chart Hackers, or alternatively a much wider stop that can come into play for you guys so that you can cater for these types of moves. Okay, do you guys want another clip of me milking a cat? There you go. I mean, you guys, somebody clipped this the other day. I was saying, if you're trading 15-minute candles, and somebody put me next to Ben Stiller there milking the cat and Meet the Parents. I mean, what?
It was 𝗘𝗃𝗏𝗏 that did that in the chat there, yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, so well, let's get Panda back here, guys. What is Panda looking at? Oh, Panda, give us a short on 𝗏𝗏𝗏, please. Can you dig around?
Was it 𝗏𝗏𝗏 or Stark? I was looking at Stark. I can look at 𝗏𝗏𝗏 if you want.
Give us a quick fire Stark and 𝗏𝗏𝗏. Okay, will you okay. Give that to us, please? I'm gonna go while you prep that. I just want to talk to the guys about 𝗃𝗃𝗏. Okay, now 𝗃𝗃𝗏, I'm sitting in the short on 𝗃𝗃𝗏, and again, we're going to be guided by what ETH is going to do. Okay, so we need to understand, like, if ETH blows up and goes to the upside, 𝗃𝗃𝗏's probably going to follow it and go to the next level. So we got an interesting scenario now on the oscillator. I'm tracking this on the 2 hour. Option one is we get a divergence print over here, so we print double bearish divergence. What does that mean? It means 𝗃𝗃𝗏 explodes with ETH and then possibly rejects at 5.155. So 5.155, that is a danger zone there for me on 𝗃𝗃𝗏. Right now, I am short, okay? I'm sitting in that short at the moment. It's a nice hedge play for me. I do want to see this thing drop, and that'll protect us, and we'll look for a bounce at 454 into 44 on 𝗃𝗃𝗏. Now, I'll put these charts in the Chart Hackers Discord for you guys. Panda, how are you looking there on 𝗏𝗏𝗏? Should I give James's XRP? Look, I can see James quivering in the back. He's literally quivering here.
That XRP?
Of course I longed it. It hit my zone. It's in my zone. Look at this.
I thought you were shorting it.
No, I love shorting XRP, but I'm not shorting XRP on support. I'm not ridiculously dumb.
How much do you hate James? You're shorting it on support.
I want to short XRP at resistance. You might. Okay, so guys, XRP, we're getting a little local bull zone bounce here, 2.13 into 2.1. Look for that. Exactly the same play as virtual. Option 1 is it just bounces from here, and that's the easy play, and we get that move to the upside, bang. Okay, option 2 is we have to print that divergence, and that means there's a chance XRP wants to come a little bit lower. And for me, that could be that 2.1 region over there. Play it accordingly. If you have a degen stop, put your stop under those lows, wait for a close below the lows. Alternatively, look for something around 2.1 for a possible bounce. You can see there is confluence here. There is a bit of horizontal backup here on that fib. And if we start losing that, well, guys, then we're looking at 618s. We're looking at 786s. It's another story. Okay, so possible short-term bounce there on XRP. Panda, where's stock? What are we doing here?
I'm looking at arrow right now. Actually, it's
okay.
wow,
Arrow.
fully
long
candle.
or short?
Nothing, indecision right now. Look at this. Okay. That's a fully engulfed candle on previous week high. We want to wait on the second attempt to see either if we put a double top coming into, can take it down to the 15. Actually, the next upcoming few candles depends on where we close. The next one, this could be a short with a very tight stop loss above the previous week highs, but that I'll have to drop it in the Discord. I don't think it's happening right now live.
That in the Discord. Basically, guys, next pump on Aero, try a short, maybe at a double top, somewhere around there. Okay, what are we doing on stock?
Then we got your Stark. I find myself when I find myself like trying to find an entry that is suitable, that's when I know it's probably gonna go much slower, because I'm seeing a fairly big drop incoming here to the 786. On the 12-hour, it's just no man's land. The daily, we got a big significant level down to the 707, these wicks here, that's major support. It looks like it's coming back to test it. However, whoever suggested Stark, if you're a hardcore Stark fan and you really want to long this, the best I can do to you after speaking to my manager, the best I can do for you in terms of a long is these lows on the 2-hour and the 1-hour down to 0.112. So that's about a 5% pullback. So yeah, any 2-hour closes under 0.113 is invalidation.
I'm putting you on the clock, bro.
Yeah, right here. So entry would be 0.115 down to 0.111.
Okay, 115 to 111. You guys can find that one in the Chart Hackers Discord. Now, I've got two more for you guys. I've got Brett, and I've got an update on Pippin, because Pippin was actually quite a fun one yesterday. Put me under a little bit of pressure, and then we got the absolute rocket ship off this 0.5 fib. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the fireworks yesterday off that 0.5. I remember James said, I ain't buying that shit. And
that was beautiful.
I mean, it was a bit of a suicide mission, wasn't it? But nice pumper there on Pippin. So what I want to say is these guys obviously following TA, okay, the market makers. And I don't know what the story is on this thing. All I can say is be super careful. And if you want to play the game, wait for the big zones to hit. So I've prepped you another big zone on Pippin that could give you a banger. And I'm tracking the VWAP. And it's going to be an interesting test. Do the market makers like the VWAP? If that is the case, you're going to look for a long on Pippin at 140, call it 140 on the button. Alternatively, you've got a backup zone at 121. We have identified that they do potentially love a fib. There's your 0.5. So they'll probably give you a bounce at 121 on Pippin. So you want to try the VWAP at 140, and then you want to try 121 on Pippin. Remember, I had multiple entries yesterday, and they bled me down before they exploded this one back up. Okay, so keep it super small size, nice wide stops, low leverage. You don't want to go 20x here. You're going to get absolutely liquid if you guys try that. Okay, so careful with that. Fartcoin, am I getting rinsed? No, not yet. That's good to see. And then let's talk Brett. This is another one. And guys, this Brett short finally playing out for us. Hopefully you guys had the staying power on this thing. And again, it just shows the power of the oscillator, the divergence. And here we go. Brett is dropping. So I've got a long zone for you guys on Brett. It is 178 into 17. 178 into 17. Look for that long. Okay, that could be a nice bounce zone there for us. And hopefully then a little bit more upside on Brett. So we'll make sure this is in the Chart Hackers Discord for you guys. In fact, this is probably going to be my win entry for you guys directly after the show. Okay, my crystal ball says Lickies everywhere, according to Damien. Guys, thank you for hanging out. Always a pleasure. Thank you, James.
Good luck, everyone.
There you go. Guys, you can catch Panda and obviously James hanging around in the Discord. See you later.